home.
Let's talk about the
Or Cucamongo.
Did you go to Lake Titicaca?
Yeah.
Did you go to Copacabana?
Yes.
I've been there.
Ooh, Copacabana. Serious. That's your
I
dreamland.
agree.
I took a boat like
To Isla-
4 miles. Yeah, to Isla del Sol.
So yeah.
And it took like 3 hours because we were going like a mile and a half an hour. 30 people just like.
Like swam there faster.
Like there's no wake, there's no anything in the
There's
back.
nothing going on. Guy in the back is flirting with like a
Brack?
55-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Turtles are swimming
Yeah, that's always a bummer.
That's good. What is that?
Slug on the rock.
It's Alameda
Hang out with us.
IPA. It is good, huh?
Tasty.
Just a log drifting by you.
Wait a minute.
How is this possible? Defies physics.
Something interesting that happened was, let's see, I took a night bus from Quito across the border into Colombia, and everyone was like, "Oh, don't take the night bus, it's dangerous, don't do it." And we're like, whatever, fucking, what's the chances? So we take this night bus, and it's about 4 hours north of the border, and you fall into that sort of half sleep, getting jostled, not quite sleeping on the bus with air-conditioned shit, fucking reversed air. And anyway, I wake up to something, right? And the guy across the aisle from me, like I'm sitting at the window, and then there's this Portuguese guy sitting in the aisle seat, and then the guy across from us, like hits the deck, and is like on his face with his belly on the ground, and we're like, what the fuck? And there's this sound of, it sounds like someone stepping on plastic bottles, like just crunch, 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 crunch. And we're like, what the fuck, what's going on? And then like a minute later, there's 2 bus drivers, and the other bus driver that wasn't driving comes in and is like, is anybody shot? Is anybody shot? And everyone's like, no, we're fine, we're fine. And we go like, 2 minutes down the road, and we get to this police barricade with sandbags up and like body armor hanging on the wall and shit, and like machine guns stacked up in a row. And we get off, and we find out that what had happened is these guys with machine guns came out in the road, and they threw a log in the road to try and get the guy to stop. It's like 45 degrees on one side and 45 degrees on the other. And I forgot to tell you guys this part, but when I wake up and I hear this crackling sound, the bus is like 4-wheel sliding, like, and it's a huge Greyhound bus, with like, and we're like,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
That could be the climax of the story,
but
but
no, it's not.
Yeah, that was it.
It's not. Yeah, and then they gave us Kool-Aid.
We all had a good
No, anyway, so what had happened, is these guys threw the logs out, and our hero bus driver is like, fuck you, I'm not stopping, and he starts skidding on these roads to dodge the log.
wow.
And because he didn't stop, they took their machine gun and went, bop, 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 and shot through the front windshield, like this far from his face. Like, went straight
Jeez,
past,
holy
like he had
shit.
glass shards in his face and shit.
Holy
And
shit.
even when we stopped, like, he was just totally calm, talking to the cops, like, it's no big deal, He's like, can I get some bandages for my face? And the cops are like, yeah, just come with us. And I go over to the window, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So I go over to the window, and I look at the window, and you can still hear it.
Whoa.
And that was the sound of people stepping on plastic bottles. Like,
Window crack.
the bullets, the actual fires woke us up. And then it was like this 8 by 6 foot window going, was the sound.
Holy shit.
And the Portuguese guy next to me was like, yeah, man, it's really crazy. I woke up and I saw that guy jump on the floor, and I thought, because I just woke up, I thought that he was like acting like he fell down and was trying to steal something out of my backpack.
Really paranoid.
And so he was like,
Can't trust some natives.
In fact, it was much worse than that.
we were getting shot at.
No, it's not that. It's just a roadblock and some kind of fucking bandits shooting
some
machine guns
bandits
at the
shooting
bus.
AKs at our bus.
So it is dangerous riding the bus.
That's
at night.
crazy.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah, so don't take the night bus.
So I told everyone after that, don't take the night bus. Like, what are the chances? But, don't do it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because then we heard about, or at least I heard about, how 6 months earlier or something, they had done that, and the bus driver stopped, and they killed every male on the bus.
Whoa.
And left all the women and stole everything.
That's honorable.
So I'm glad to make it back to you guys, because that was a
Just the
close
men.
one.
Just men. It's Stupid and
Chunk of
expendable.
ice like the size of the house, just like boom. Man, it was so awesome.
Yeah, that's off that ice bridge.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that, like, 2 kilometers on one side and 2 kilometers on the other side are being, well, here's how it works. It's like the glacier's coming down into this lake, and there's an island perfectly positioned to where the middle of the glacier butts up against this island and arches up and makes this huge arch that's like 90 feet at the bottom of it, or at least when I was there, it was like 90 feet, and then there's, you know, another 75 feet of ice above it that's all getting bowed out and arched. And because it was like under so much pressure, it kind of layers up like ice does. And so there'd be these chunks of ice that are like 5 by 10 and maybe 1.5 feet thick or something, and they'd fall off the bottom of the arch. But they'd fall perfectly to where they totally just belly flop and make like this smack sound, you know, like no kabloosh, none of that. It's just like whack. And then it's inside this cave that's like 200 feet long of ice. It's 90 feet tall and, you know, like 70 feet wide, and man, that was amazing
Kind
too.
of booming out.
Yeah, the biggest piece of ice I saw was this one giant chunk tower that was hanging out. That if it had to be like 80 feet tall, and it was like 50 feet thick. So it's like, and there was this one chunk of ice underneath it that crunched, and then the whole thing went boom and just exploded and splashed. And made this huge wave. Man, it was amazing.
special night.
Oh, Jed, you're such a sucker. You posted on the wrong side. It's still awesome.
Yeah, you remember that day, Jed? It's like me, you,
Too.
Ruth, and Corey. You remember that, Jed?
Why am I such a
Nice. That was successful.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Bill.
Look at this suction.
Yeah, I know.